Talking Films. This is a podcast by DokuFest. Tune in to discover more about documentary film and filmmakers. I'm Alexandra, your host. Hello again for another episode of the podcast Talking Films by DokuFest. Today, my guest is Petra Holzer from Green Film Network. Welcome.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm very happy to talk to you.
A few words about yourself?
Yeah, my name is Petra, as you said. I'm Austrian living in Turkey. Together with my husband, we make documentaries and work in the cultural field. And we have a festival in Bozcaada called Bozcaada International Festival of Ecological Documentary. We'll have the 11th edition this year. And I'm also member of, we are also member of the GFN, the Green Film Network. But since this year, I'm also a board member, so I will be...
in the middle of it.
Yeah, we'll try to make a lot of things happen, so we'll see what it is that we can do together. So we are a network of about 30 festivals from all over the world with the scope of green, environment, ecology. There are big ones, small ones. There are some festivals who have only one part of their festival, one chapter of their festival about ecology, but all of the festivals have a deep belief in that we need to do something about ecology. The network has one big event for all the festivals, and that's the Green Film Award, which will have the 10th edition this year. And every festival nominates a film, a feature one, and if they have a short film. And they also nominate for each section a jury member. And we are discussing which is the best film of the year. So it is always a film from the last edition that was in the program. Yeah.
So what brought you to Kosovo? And first, as we ask all our guests, how was your trip to Prizren?
It was a bit a long one because I have first from a small island in the Aegean to Istanbul, from Istanbul to Prizren, and to Pristina, and then to Prizren. But it was a very nice trip. I had so many nice people on the plane to talk to and get to know the country already. And Veton and Erol invited me. Together with Erol, we are in the Green Film Assembly, Green Film Network Assembly, and we talked, and they invited me this year for the Green Dox jury, which I was very happy to be here, and I really thank the DokuFest for this really nice experience here in the country and with all the people that are coming here and for all the, I think, very fruitful connections that we could make.
So you said you're at the beginning of the cooperation with DokuFest. Can you tell me a bit more about it? Like, what are you doing there? How does this cooperation look like?
We are just starting, and we will find a way because we are very small. Our festival is very small. It's on a
the
small,
one in Turkey.
Yes, the one in Turkey. We are small, slow, and local. So but we have a lot of international impact and also network and people coming from outside. But we also have a big local audience. So we have a festival like this. DokuFest is much, much bigger than we are, and also they have a lot more experience. So we'll see how we can cooperate among each other. And I really admire what they do with this educational platform they created.
For school children, for example. Yeah, yeah. So you're a jury member. DokuFest has a special environmental category where they show documentary movies. What's your impression? What we are seeing there? How does this film landscape look like here in this category?
I've seen that in all the categories were films concerned with ecology, with the future of the planet or the nature. It was in all categories. That's something that I think is visible in all the festivals, actually. When you look at the festivals, lots of films have this topic. That means it's really a topic of concern for the audience, for the filmmakers, for the communities. So, and especially in the Green Dox, the topic is only around it. So, but as you know, you cannot divide ecology from human rights or social issues. So it's all interconnected, and you can see that with the topics that were in the films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very broadly, how do you think environmental films can actually impact people's behavior towards nature?
There are two ideas. Say, many film, especially in our field, lots of festivals have the motto, the theme, films, movies change the world. In general, do I think that a film has the power to change? I don't know. But we need to show the topics, and as filmmakers, we need to give voice to that's what I think, give the voice to the people who have something to say and no channel or no platform to say it. So I think it's important that we bring people together, audiences together, communities together with the topics we are making. There are also a lot of people saying documentary doesn't have to have an impact, can be also only the art form. Yes, that's also possible, but I feel documentary has the power to bring people together.
And maybe activate them in somehow.
Yes. Mm-hmm. It might be that we show about 40 films in the festival, shorts, long films, mid-length films. And if one film changes the perspective or something in the heart of the people, of one person, it's already a big success or a big impact.
Yeah.
Do we have a lot of people who don't know about the topic? No, because people who don't know about ecological problems, they will not come to our festival. But still, we have to try.
That's a very interesting point that you're bringing up, because I actually made a note for myself, or to ask you, there seems to be, like, I don't know if you can call it trend, but there are many environmental film festivals specifically for only these movies, or like here a labeled category, Green Dox. I ask myself if that makes sense, because probably people who go there, they're already interested in these topics, and maybe others are repelled by it because they think, oh my God, not this ecological stuff again. So what's your opinion on that?
Documentary is a tough genre anyway. So documentary films are either by films lovers seen as a special category, or they're seen by a wider audience. You know, the National Geography kind of documentaries and
On Netflix,
BBC.
even.
Yeah. So those films don't change anything because they're. I'm sorry to say this, I shouldn't say it, but a lot of these films are just greenwashing or whitewashing the actual problems.
So more entertainment than education, or?
Yes, exactly. So just making it nicer to look at, and with all this beautiful technique and everything. So should we stop making documentaries or these topics? I don't think so. I think that we get a lot of questions from small communities who have no cinema or no festivals, and they ask us to send them programs about this topic.
Yeah. About what festivals or places are we talking?
In Turkey, we talk about rural places, provincial towns, sometimes bigger towns who want to do something for their community. So we reach communities through other communities or community-based groups. So we had lots of screenings already all over Turkey this year. And now we are making a 3-island
festival. You're expanding from 1 island to 3.
Yes,
That
exactly.
sounds great.
We are crossing over to Greece,
Ooh,
our
wow.
neighbor. It's our neighbor island. We had a 4 days experience this year, and it was wonderful. And they will be coming in October to our festival. And we have the other Turkish. I said we had 2 islands in the Aegean. So with the second island, we are cooperating now. And in September, we will have there from our past programs some films, and we'll have topics where we can talk and come together. So I think we're starting something within our community so that we can also talk to each other and share our experiences. And yeah.
It's interesting to hear about this evolution from very local to like bigger and bigger circles. Yeah.
Circles, yes, but we are not making a bigger event on the island.
Yeah, good point. Mm-hmm.
We are expanding because we are actually doing a lot of work. A festival, to make a festival is a lot of work. You do a programming, you do all this work of reaching out to filmmakers. Filmmakers bring you the films. We are talking. We are editing. Writing, editing, translating, subtitling, and we make a program. So this program has very good films. We get lots of good feedback because usually niche festivals are like, oh, they're probably boring. They only have one type of film and they repeat it all over again. But it's not like this. It has lots of variety. It has lots of voices. We show, for example, lots of films from the global south. We show a lot of films from women directors. It's not intended, but it happens like that. Mm-hmm. So we have a good program, and I think that sharing what we do with other communities, that's important. So we're actually efficient with what we're doing. So we could say it's a sustainable
I just wanted to ask about that point, because you mentioned organizing, which is a huge task. Is it even more complicated? Because I guess you have certain standards that it needs to be sustainably organized. How does that look like very practically?
Well, I brought up the topic, so I'm a bit now, I shouldn't have, but sustainability, as you know, where you come from and where I come from, sustainability was created in 1617, in the year 1617,
really?
in Austria.
Okay, I didn't know that.
The forests were cut down for the mining industry. They needed it for the tunnels, and they needed it to melt the ore. And all of a sudden there were these bare mountains, and they needed always wood to sustain their mining, actually. And they realized that when the forests are gone, everything is gone.
They can't do business anymore, basically.
Yeah, actually, it's a capitalist thought. And they had this monoculture of the forest that we have in Middle Europe now, is actually from that era. And so sustainability, from the very beginning, was not an ecological,
but a
financial and capitalist endeavor.
But now, please don't tell me, like you, as a person talking about environmental films, that you say you adjust your festival for, I don't know, capitalistic reasons to some eco-style?
No, exactly. So that's why we are not using the word sustainability.
Okay, good.
Because we see ecological as everything interconnected. Mm-hmm. So we are trying, yes. And now I have to use again sustainable as a term. Yes, we have to be sustainable. What the whole world is now taking as sustainable. So what are we doing? We are using local. Most of all the things local,
like food or drinks or this kind of.
Yeah, we try. We have local wine. We have local food. All the hotels are, well, the population are. Included, and they feel it's their festival, so that's very nice. So they say, also, why are you transporting all these people? We try to make it really small. So one bus at the beginning of the festival and one bus back.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You collect even the visitors
Yes.
together?
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
We are not creating lots of material. We have some posters. We make a catalog because people say we need. We are collecting it as a book. In the beginning we didn't make it, but then they made photocopies all over the place. So said this is not good. So we made a catalog, and we have a bag. This year, for example.
Okay.
Yeah, tote bag.
Yeah, but from recycled plastic or whatever.
At this point, we are experimenting because until now, there was no way of making something like that. So we are working with an artist who is Selçuk Görüşük, who did research on the old felt making in Turkey. Felt is very old on wool from sheep. And he went through all the mountains and learned how the old felt was made, and that's a very sustainable material. So he's now experimenting with the textile industry that was thrown away, how we can use it and make felt, some kind of felt from that. So he did that with the trash of the how do you call it, jeans industry. And now he's collecting things, and so we're looking. So we're trying to make the bags this year like this, but that's also very expensive, and we're a small festival, so we'll see how this will work. And we're thinking about collecting the, how do you call it, from the wine bottles, the corks, the corks. And we try to collect them because there's lots of tavernas or bars, and so we try to collect, make somehow a collection of those. They're thrown away, so we try to collect them and see if we can make something reusable of that, because we heard in Portugal they are making material like that.
Yeah. From reused.
Yeah, they're just cutting it, shredding, and so we're trying to do things like that. We're asking the people to bring their own bottles and not use plastic during the festival. We try these kind of things.
Yeah, sounds interesting. I'm excited to see the bags on some way or picture.
Yeah, me too. We were thinking about reusing the sails that are thrown away, but we realized that everybody is collecting them, so it's a good thing. So that are collected and reused. So we are trying to find something that also can be easily, without a lot of energy, be transferred, upcycled in something else.
You mentioned before when we met here at Doku Cafe that you're also filmmaker yourself, or you were.
Yeah.
Also connected to Turkey, or what was that about?
Yeah. Well, when we met with my husband, who is a filmmaker, video artist, we started together to work on a documentary that was in 1996 about a gold mine, a resistance movement in a gold mine in Turkey, which was huge. And for 10 years we followed them, and we made in-between versions to show, and the last version we made in 2007. And the people, the interesting thing about the documentary is how it's got distributed and used by the communities. So we had no chance to bring it in national TV or in a private TV or somewhere. So they used the VHS copies at the time.
Oh, really? Wow. Yeah, they existed.
They copied them, the local resistance movement, and they sent them to the judges of the highest court, because it was a high court decision coming. And so sent them to the judges, said they need to hear what we say, and we can't come in the...
They were not invited to court.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they need to see what's going on here. And so, the court was in favor of the people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but, governments and and also big companies find always a way around. So it was going on, and sometimes they sent all the VHS tapes and later CDs, DVDs to the coffee places in other places where there was mining issues. It was screened all around Greece, and in Greece after they had also very big movement, but also the documentary they used to inform the people. It was forbidden to use cyanide leaching in Greece for a long time. In Prague, in Romania, and everywhere it was shown and used.
That's an amazing trip this documentary took.
And the most astonishing thing was that this documentary, or pieces from the documentary, were allowed as evidence in the Human Rights Court in Strasbourg.
Oh, really?
And it was the first time that the documentary was admitted like this.
Oh, wow. And what happened there?
It was also in favor of the people.
Yeah. But the mine is still there, it still works.
There.
Okay.
It's still there now today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, lots of people died because of cancer and other reasons. It divided the community, but it delayed the mining issue in whole Turkey for 20 years, I think.
Wow, I didn't expect this to come out of this conversation. So because I found it interesting before when I asked you if movies can change people, that I expected the answer yes, of course they do. And you were kind of hesitant, but now also with your movie, you show maybe the mind was not closed, but something did happen, something moved, it impacted people or even courts in some ways.
Yeah, my husband and we were making usually documentaries because people come to us and say, we need you. And for example, there was a movie we made about death in shipyards because of the outsourcing, and there were lots of people dying in the shipyards because it was badly organized. The outsourcing companies didn't talk to each other, and they were doing, how do you call it, the melting?
Melting?
No, not the melting, with the...
Cutting something?
Yeah, with the schweißen. I don't know the word for it.
Yeah, me neither. The thing where you cut metal.
Yeah, or put it together.
Yeah, or put it together, yeah.
Yeah, but they made it where they also painted the walls, and it's metal paint. So you can imagine the gas combustions, and there were lots of explosions and people died a lot like this. So they asked us if we could they said, we are making a report and we need some, I think the people need to see the workers and what they live. Could you just make some interviews with them, and we put it in the book, in the back of the book, a DVD, so the people can see it. So we started and we made a short thing for them, but we realized that this topic is really, really big. So for 1 year we did recording and editing, and this was a movie that was shown, is still shown in a lot of classes by professors from health, how do you call it, public health, until labor, how do you call it, political, how do you call this? Political
science?
Yeah, in political science, about labor
Workers'
rights, and in sociology, and all kinds of it's still shown as material. So yeah, and it helped the workers also a bit. So yes, sometimes it has impact.
Is it also dangerous or at least uncomfortable for you to make these movies, because it's issues that I guess the government doesn't like to see on a public stage, and you go there and dig up stuff that has been not done the right way?
Well, I think life is dangerous.
But were you threatened or something?
No, not directly, no. But when you speak out, when you're I think everybody now, with all these slap actions going on, I think a lot of people are threatened. So when you speak out, you take a risk.
And be prepared that something might come.
Yeah. I can only say that. If you think too much about it, then you don't start to do anything.
Yeah, well, true. So maybe starting to look to the future, what's your future project now? Are you working on a film right now, or what are you doing now?
Yes, we are working on a film, which unfortunately we had to make. The 6th of February 2023 was a devastation for a region as big as Germany in Turkey. And it was an earthquake where thousands of people died. Hundreds and thousands of people were displaced. And they're still not back, especially in Antakya, in Hatay. In many villages, they're still not able to go back. They don't have a future. They're living in really bad conditions. So in the first month, we were connected to an orchestra. It's called the Hatay Academy Symphony Orchestra. And they're a civil organization since 5-6 years. They're existing, as they have no big company or the government as a backup, but they're just a civil organization. And their chef, Aliur, he wanted to make a video to reach the people and say, come back. We need to rebuild Antakya with our music, with art, with culture. We will. It will not be the same Antakya, but we will come back and restore it. You have to come back. You don't go away and leave this area. So he came to us somehow, and over friends. About Tuğçe Tezer. She's a scholar on Antakya, city planning and the cultural history of Antakya. So from the beginning, she works a lot with all the people there. And so she said, you would fit good together. Why don't you meet? And so we met, and they had a concert on the first of April 2023 in Istanbul. They came together after the earthquake for the first time. They lost 4 of their members.
Oh, wow.
And they lost almost all their instruments. And so they came together, and it was such a strong experience, this concert. So we started from there on, following them through the year, and now we are making a documentary that will support them, so they can make a cultural center, a home for the orchestra, and to have education for young people, children, as in a choir or as with instruments. So they're taking upon their shoulders an incredible work, and we try to help. To be in solidarity with them. It's a big word to help them, but to be with them.
Yeah. Another impact you can make with the movie. Yeah.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
they get a lot of money and power and solidarity, so they can build this this whatever it will be, culture center.
Yeah. You also mentioned your new position at the Green Film Network.
Yeah.
What are your plans there?
Well, I got a bit the position to be the representative of Southern Mediterranean, East Mediterranean, and the Balkans. So I'm trying to see what we need in this region, what we need to do, how we can come together, get new members from this region. We're now thinking about a festival in Beirut, not in Beirut, in Lebanon, in the mountains of Lebanon. So some very interesting festival there. So, and also we're thinking about, is it possible to have a festival of island festivals?
Oh, from different countries.
Yes.
Somehow connected. Yeah. Kosovo doesn't have an island, unfortunately.
No, unfortunately not, but we are also in the Balkans, South and Southeast Mediterranean. So yes, we have a different, we have as a culture where we live, we have different needs, different maybe views, different problems than, for example, Northern European festivals or Latin American festivals or Asian festivals. So yeah, so we're trying to be a bit regional, and that's what we're trying to make, and also to communicate more what we can do together and see maybe on these educational platforms we can cooperate more. That's one thing that I will be bringing up, because in Mexico they have this wonderful platform also. So in 2 continents there are already these things going on. I think there are other festivals. So we see who is doing what and what we can do together, and maybe we can make a prototype that will be usable for other countries.
Yeah. So I guess, unfortunately, environmental films and festivals will have a very good future in this sense.
Well, it looks like we have a long future.
Or maybe not so long anymore, but
well, in this case, yes.
But your work will not end very soon.
Unfortunately, whenever you work on social communities and community problems or human rights problems, then you will always have much work, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. We hope that the democracy and the decency will prevail, but we'll see.
Thank you so much for this conversation, Petra.
Thank you very much for having me here once again, and hopefully we'll be together sometime in the future here again.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Find all the episodes of our podcast on YouTube. Share the episodes with your friends and make sure to follow DokuFest on social media. Organization of this podcast, Blerina Kanja and Samir Karahuda. Production, Flutura Balai. And I'm your host, Alexandra Hildman.